Hi, Chris here, back with our chair. We're going to put some 3/4 inch dacron padding on the back. As I said in other parts of the video, I always like to do that because you always want to send your chair back. Even though this looks nice and clean, it's compacted over the years. And my personal opinion, it is 10 times easier to put fabric on with a layer of dacron over the surface than without. This is nice and slick, soft and puffy. We carry this in 27-inch rolls by 50-foot length on the website. You pretty much want to cut it the same way you're going to cut fabric. Do you remember I said cut your fabric in, straight into the leg, and the leg groove in the other video we did with the chair or putting on the seat was right here. Tuck it in, just like if you were working the fabric. See, I already have a clean line right there. You want to turn your chair around. Now I got a lot of extra dacron on here because I found a piece that I could use. Trim off some of that excess. And take this and make sure you're staying clean up in here to remove any bumps that you might have. And you want to pull this down and place it on there, similar as if you were putting the fabric on. Make sure you have your staple gun. Start in the center and work your way to the end. And just like in the seat, leave it open at the side. Leave it open at the side. Trim off your excess. I'm going to flip my chair down here so I can see the front. Let me turn it this way so you can see it. I'll turn it on an angle. Now as you can see, we got to get cut around the arms. It's pretty simple. Just cut directly into the arms. This is the same technique you're going to use to cut your fabric. Except with your fabric, you're going to be a little more patient and aware of what you're doing. Now here, I'm going to bring this, you can roll it over or you can leave it even. I'm going to leave it even on the arm, so I'm not going to bring too much over onto the wood. I'm going to cut it out, trim it around here. Now you do this corner, grab it with your hand like this, like you're going to make a pleat, and cut it. You're going to end up with a nice L-shaped cut. So when you're putting on your fabric, you're not overlapping it like that. This will come nice and even with your fabric cut. Trim out the excess and bring it up to the wood. Same thing with the bottom. You want to see where it's going to pull down, where your fabric's going to go, and trim that out. Clean up any excess. And do the same on the other side. Luckily, well, the dacron wasn't wide enough to fit to the other side, so what I'm going to do is, this side, what I'm going to do so that there's not a, with your hand after the fabric is on so you don't feel a change, I'm going to shave the dacron down a little bit so the feel when you go from the dacron to the cotton, you can't feel any surface change or any surface bump. Alright, cut the corner out the same way we did with the other side. Bring your fabrics together, make a plate like that, like an ear, and cut them together. Now we're going to lay the fabric out. That back is pretty nicely prepped for the fabric. When you cut your fabric, we're going to go into another chapter here in a second, but when you cut your fabric, make sure you mark the top. Always check the top before you make any cuts. Always lay your fabric on and see where you want it to be before you make any cuts. And I don't know if you remember, but in the other video, I explained to you that laying out the fabric, you don't necessarily want to have your flower in the center. Now when you're doing a chair like this, you definitely don't want, we're going to use the same flower here like we used here, and these two are here and here. You don't want your fabric to sit down here in the center in most cases. You want it to sit up a little bit. In this case, we're going to bring it up a little bit. So we have a flower here and a flower here. So you have you have a nice bouquet of flowers in the center. And of course you want to make sure your centers on the sides are the same or match. But you see, you're much better having the main part of your print at closer to the top than in the center. Down here looks too low and looks very unprofessional. In any professional upholsterer or any professional furniture store, you see stuff made properly, you'll see the pattern on the back is usually sits higher than in the center of the chair. Anyway, we're going to go to the next chapter. We're going to install the back. Hope you enjoyed this. We'll see you in a few minutes. Thanks. Bye.